I literally I can't stop getting lipstick on my hands. Like, why? Hey guys, so today I'm going to be taking you through some workout footage. So about 2 weeks ago, I finally learned how to deadlift. I told you guys probably like a month or two ago that there's a powerlifting coach at my gym back at home that offered to teach me how to deadlift, and I was like, yes, please. So he taught me the day before I came back up here to Towson. So we are back in real time finally. I will be doing a video on my hair. I got a sew-in and I'm obsessed with it. So I'll have the hair links down below that I have in right now, but there will eventually be an entire video on like hair care, the hair that I have, a nice little review on the hair. So don't worry about that, but give it a thumbs up if you guys are excited to see that video. But today I'm just going to be taking you guys through the footage, letting you guys know the things that he taught me. I will have a couple videos down below that I think will help you learn how to deadlift if you are trying to. I think it's a great idea if you can find someone as well who can just teach you so that you know as you're doing it that you're doing it correctly, which is why I really wanted him to help me out, and I'm glad that he did. So he did teach me the conventional deadlift. The sumo stance is going to be more for competition purposes, but he told me that since I'm not competing anytime soon, it makes more sense to do conventional. We're not allowed to deadlift at my gym up here at Towson because we don't have platforms and we don't have plates that can be bouncing off the ground and being slammed at full force. So I completely understand. So every now and then I'm going to go home and just practice to keep my motion patterns together so I don't completely forget by the time I'm actually allowed to deadlift again, which won't be until the summer, sadly. So he gave me some great pointers, and he told me that conventional is going to be a lot easier to learn than sumo in general. So the biggest tips that he gave me were to push off the floor. The funniest thing that I learned was that a deadlift is actually a push motion, not a pull motion, which makes sense when you think about how you're deadlifting because you are actually pushing off the floor to pull it up. I think people just think pull because you're pulling the bar up, but technically you're actually pushing it off the floor. So that's something interesting that I learned. So you learn something new every day, but this movement is actually very similar to a stiff leg or a Romanian deadlift. So I feel like I picked it up pretty well. He had me start with 25s on each side. The bar is 45 pounds. So I started with 95 pounds and I did one set of 8. And then he moved me up to 35s on each side, which was 115 for one set of 8. And then I did 45s. So 135 for 5 reps. And gotta say, it was pretty hard. The movement itself, I feel like, is pretty easy. I know there are some things that I could work on. On the last rep of 135 for 5, you guys will see that I actually learned how to tighten my lats properly, but then when I pushed off the ground, I kind of lost a little bit of control on that last rep. But he told me, don't worry so much about all the little things and all the little cues that other people are using. Find stuff that works for you. So for myself, a great cue that helped me was him telling me to push through the floor. So when you start, you're going to push through the floor with your toes and then use your lats and just pack them. So almost flex your lats at the very top and then breathe out at the top of the motion. You guys will see in the first couple sets, I was trying to figure out when to breathe because that's like the biggest thing. And when it's lighter, it's a little easier to just kind of hold your breath by accident and not even realize. So he told me the easiest way to set up is to get your hands in your positions. And I was doing over under. He said I can do hook grip as well when it's pretty light. And work with that as long as I can to get my grip strength up. But he said I'm eventually going to do over under. So he said it doesn't really matter what I do right now. So I just started with over under. And you want to make sure that you really like lock your thumbs around and hold that bar so that when you push off the ground, you don't lose that grip. It's kind of weird when you first start doing it, because like I said, I've done Romanian deadlifts and stiff leg deadlifts, and it's very similar, but the setup is very different. So obviously you're starting from the floor, and he had me reset after each rep so that my form wouldn't break down. So I try to keep my hips down the entire motion. You guys will kind of see me, like when I take a huge breath before I go, I lift my butt up and then I bring it down and kind of tuck my hips in a little bit and then explode at the top. So the exploding at the top and then coming back down is definitely something that I need to work on. And the breathing was really awkward. I feel like it might have been awkward too when I first started squatting. I'm not sure, but it honestly went pretty well. And he said that he thinks I could throw a belt on and push like 200 pounds. So I thought that was funny considering 135 felt really, really heavy. But my back didn't round that much, and he told me that if I did it correctly, that my hamstrings would be super sore the next day and my lower back would not be, and that my traps would feel like they were on fire. The great thing about conventional, just like low bar squatting, is that it's hitting your posterior chain every single time you're doing the motion. So glad that I'm going to start incorporating those, because I do high bar squat, which kind of neglects your posterior chain, so I can actually get some lower back action in my life. So those were my deadlifts. Not much to say. Most of the tips that he gave me were very simple, like focus on your breathing, push through the floor, try and think of cues, keep your head neutral the entire time. He told me to pick a spot and look at it the entire time. But now I'm going to tell you guys just about my training in general. So I talked about it a little bit in a couple other videos, that my training goals, fitness goals in general, have kind of changed. So now that I know how to deadlift, I'm hoping to switch fully into a powerlifting program over the summer. So powerlifting is going to be squat, bench, deadlift. I am squatting twice a week right now and benching twice a week. So here's what my split's kind of looking like. And keep in mind, you don't need to copy my split. And if you do copy my split, that won't lead towards you looking like me, because we're different people. And I have been working out since September 2015. So it's not really possible for you to jump into the same frequency and weight that I'm doing, because you're more of a beginner than I am, which I think makes sense to everyone. So day one is heavy squats. So I run the 5-through-1 program. So each week I will do that. On Monday probably will be my squat day, and then I'll hit quads. So I'll just do 2 quad exercises. I'll usually go with the walking lunges and the leg extensions, because I don't like to burn out my quads too much on my squat days, because I'm already dying. And then Tuesdays I'm going to do bench, triceps, and abs. So I'll do my heavier bench day. I have not started a program for bench yet, but I think I'm going to run the 5-3-1 program as well. I'm thinking I'll start a program once I hit maybe like 80 pounds, so I have some percentages to work with that would make sense. 80, 85 pounds, we'll see, and I'll keep you guys up to date on that. And then I do a couple tricep exercises. I'll usually do like 5 tricep exercises, or I'll do less tricep exercises or more volume, so I'll do more sets times reps, but it's very hypertrophy based. I'm not like training for strength when it comes to my smaller muscle groups. And then I'll do abs, because I'm working on my core, because a stronger core leads to stronger lifts. Basically all the training that I'm doing is now just supposed to help my squat, my bench, and deadlift. So that's where my goals are aligned. On Wednesdays I'm gonna do hamstrings, glutes for once in my life, and quads. So as you guys know, I get a lot of recruitment from squats, deadlifts, basically any lower body exercise. My glutes will completely take over, so I haven't had to do much glute isolation work. I don't think I've isolated my glutes in about 7 months, and I have 2 videos up. I have one that was originally the exercises that I did when I started working out that grew my glutes in about 8 to 9 months. That's a huge question that I always get. And then I just posted a video with my favorite exercises that I just really enjoy doing and I see a lot of results with. So gonna do hamstrings, glutes, quads all on that day. And I have found a great routine that like burns me out. Like I'm so sore the next day. So hopefully the next time I'm back at my gym, I'll film that for you guys so you can try it out and hopefully die too, because it's a great time. So I'll usually do 4 or 5 exercises for those as well. It depends on the muscle group, and it also depends on my goals and how sore I am from doing other things. So it varies week from week. So don't worry too much about your program. Just split up your muscles, either lower body, upper body, or make it more specific like I do. It's going to depend on how much time you have, what goals you want, and how frequently you want to train those muscle groups. I always say as a beginner, I still count myself as a beginner, but when you first start out, it's great to train your muscles 2 to 3 times a week if possible. And then back, biceps, shoulders, I basically split up my hypertrophy upper body days, my hypertrophy lower body days, so that I can hit them with more intensity just once a week. So I love training back, and I've seen so many results with back. So my favorite back exercises, I'm actually gonna have a video go up soon on that, hopefully by the end of the month. But I'll usually do like pull-ups, lat pull down, close grip, lat pull down, sometimes some form of rows. I like to switch it up and hit the muscle from different angles. And then biceps, I'll just do a bunch of variations of curls. I'll probably do 4 bicep exercises, and then I'll usually do 3 or 4 shoulder exercises. But when it comes to back, I really like to just like get in with that back stuff. And then the last day is bench and light squats, which I'll usually do on Friday or Saturday. So that is kind of the goal. And when it comes to the lighter days, I do more hypertrophy. So I'm kind of doing like a power building split. I'm doing powerlifting style training, but I'm also still doing bodybuilding style training because I still want to grow, but I also want to gain strength. So that's what I'm up to right now in the gym. And I do have a video talking about how you can set up your own split if you guys are a little confused about what I'm talking about or what you should do as a beginner. So I'll have a card for that if you guys are interested in hearing a bit more about that. I try not to ramble too much in my videos. A lot of people will always complain that I talk too much, but I can't stop, and I just enjoy talking. And I know a lot of you guys like to listen to me talk, so I don't really mind that much. But I do try and break up some informational videos so you don't have to sit through me talking for like 20 minutes. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video nonetheless. Hope you enjoyed seeing me deadlift. If you have any tips on deadlifting, please let me know, or any videos that I should watch on deadlifting that would help me. That would be great. You can leave those in the comments. That's gonna be it for this video because I don't have anything else to say. Please give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy. I don't know if I already said that, but if so, I'm saying it again. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and I'll see you all in my next one. I love you.